Okay, so now it's time for part one of my interview with Chris from Basone Guitars. Chris is the proprietor of this very interesting shop. It's a custom, they specialize in custom-built guitars. And Chris is an experienced luthier. So a luthier is somebody who is trained in the trade, the craft of actually building guitars from scratch. So sourcing the wood, doing everything that it takes to piece together a guitar, all the electronics, everything. And yeah, I met him kind of randomly, and when I discovered the shop is at 318 East 5th Avenue. So let's have a listen to my chat with Chris, and we'll learn about what a luthier is, first of all. That was my first question to Chris. What actually is a luthier?
A lot of people remember that from the Smurfs, the Johan kid playing the lute, and that guy. But basically, it's classically trained or modernly trained guitar builder. So at the same time that I'm doing custom builds, I'm also running a full-time repair shop. So a lot of different angles to cover when you're talking about instruments.
That's right. And so it is a sort of a traditional trade. Then how did you personally get into that? Was it something in your family, or was there a moment in time that you discovered a teacher, a mentor, or?
Well, I was looking for a job, a musician in the 90s, played guitar since I was 9 years old, taking guitars apart and putting them back together. And so when looking for a job, I applied at Larrivee Guitars, Vancouver, originally from Quebec. They're a Vancouver company now, and then they've also got a factory in the States, down in California. But basically I applied, and I back in the days of using the phone books, I applied to the wrong address, the old factory, and everybody had already been moved down. So when I started at Larrivee, I started right at the bottom, me and one other guy that was a swayer. And basically I started carrying out sawdust and being a shop steward and a shop hand and cleaning out the saws and stuff like that, and kiln drying a bunch of wood, basically starting right at the bottom after we'd gone through about 35,000 spruce tops for acoustics. There was no more to be cut, so he got me a job at the main factory with all the other workers in the wood shop. Jumping around from each step of the process, over, I think I spent 6 years there altogether. So, basically being shown by John Larrivee Sr. and Jr. how to properly build a guitar, fix, paint issues, and pretty much everything from fretting up fingerboards, doing inlaying, all that stuff. So, and after that, there was some problems with union being voted in for the Larrivee company, and everybody was laid off. So I decided to start my own venture. And
ever since. When was that you started the shop?
I think the first shop in Gastown was 2004. So that would have been my first professional shop. And just over the years, we've grown into a retail location just in the Main Street area. So we're also selling a lot of things now and trying to compensate some of the time with retail sales, as well as a lot of people eventually learn. It's a lot easier to sell things than break your back making guitars all day long, which I still do anyways.
That's
it all
right.
comes together for a nice package at the end of the day, I guess.
Absolutely. It's so fascinating to hear that you were grounded in such a traditional craft. Like, I can't imagine it's terribly common. Like, if someone decided that that's what they wanted to do with their life right now at this point in time, is it not as easy now to get into that world, to find someone, to mentor under, things like that?
It's hard because half the battle is learning it, and then the rest of the battle is sticking with it and outlasting all the other people that fall off, whether you're poor or broke or starving. I've had to carry this thing, and luckily with the help of my wife, doing the website and everything, it's we've been holding on, and we're getting a lot of recognition in Vancouver. So it's just, it's more like a time thing. You can't build a label overnight. We've been doing this for 12 years, and we're still, I wouldn't call myself a master by any means, but we're very, very fluent in most of the, steps of the process. And John Larrivee's been building guitars for 45 years, and he's obviously considered a master around the world. But it didn't happen overnight for him by any means either.
So is it easy enough to sort of, can you summarize the steps of, building a guitar? Is it easy enough to say basically what the steps you go from point one to the finished product?
Yeah, Well, a lot of people that call themselves luthiers are sort of throwing parts together and ordering necks and getting bodies pre-painted. Basically, we start, I go right out to source my wood out. There's a local company called Columbia Valley Tone Woods. They deal in a lot of woods just from BC, mahoganies, spruces, cedars. So I basically go out and pick out my woods and start right from scratch, and then you start with the shape, the fretwork. I have to paint them myself. I wire them up, get the electronics, and there's well over like 130 steps. That they have been trying to master every step over the years, and it just adds up. Every month something gets better, and every day something gets better. But basically, we start right from scratch, and we get a lot more recognition doing this than just somebody opening up a shop and putting parts casters, what they're called, after the Stratocaster, right? They're called parts casters.
Yeah.
But we do everything right from scratch here.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit longer, but you get other options. If you walk into Ronald McQuaid or a big shop, you can buy the guitars, but you can't design them yourself and put the volume knobs where you want them and choose a different style of pickup configuration that you can't buy off the shelf, right down to getting your name or something personal inlaid, pictures or names, or right out of abalone or a mother of pearl shell. So it basically becomes like a part of you, the guitar that you can keep over the years that nobody else can copy. So,
absolutely, yeah.
That's mostly my customers are looking for something that is unique, or a different kind of exotic wood that's a little expensive to buy, off the shelf if you're going to pay for some custom shop. A guitar with some Brazilian rosewood, for example, you're probably going to pay around $8,000 from a big shop, a known shop like Fender or Gibson, whereas I can offer the same guitar for under $3,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I don't want to peg hole myself there.
Yeah.
Guitars, they're going right now between $2,000 and $3,000 for something nicer than my shop.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you have gone to the effort to source parts from different countries, like something as specific as strings from Germany and some of your pickups from Brazil. How did that come about? The sort of, I guess, extensive research and decision making and.
Yeah, it's just like anything, like I said, it didn't happen overnight. We've been, cultivating relationships in different countries for a few years, just trying to offer Vancouver something else that isn't, the norm. So we're also a smaller shop, so I need to draw people in with my guitars and with other things that the big shops don't carry. So we've been dealing with pyramid strings from Germany. They're a hand-wound string. High quality materials are used. And as far as electronics go, my wife is from Brazil. So when we were down there visiting for a couple months, I hooked up with Augusto Cabrera, who is a very worldly renowned pickup manufacturer. And he has his family hand winding the pickups with him down there, and they're unbelievable. So it's, if you're ordering a custom guitar, you want to put in something flashy, something super, hand tailored and boutique-y, which is why I've hooked those guys up. And everything else is just, we're trying to look for the highest quality components for our guitars, and we might as well sell them at the same time and